Yeah.
Just a little.
And then I say something really sexist.
I really hope that's what you do with your life, Peter.
Leave that's in
Brian,
Peter.
Brian, we're gonna run that under wraps.
Hey, you guys want to hear something really ironic? So Universal Studios is pushing forward the production of another Jurassic World movie, where they're putting $5 million into their safety plan and 150 hand sanitizer stations throughout production for it. So, you know, they're sparing no expense, not listening to scientists, and just going forward with their plan.
I mean, I knew they were making a new movie since the last one.
No, but the point is that they're doing it in the times of COVID, and it's literally the plot of Jurassic Park 1. They're not listening to the scientists and going forward and sparing no expense, and it's still fucking failing.
But Renzo, at this point,
Yeah, I mean,
Fuck
this,
it.
if you
I'm
start a
ready.
movie now, it's going to be a year and a half before it releases. So I
I'm
think
pretty okay with dinosaurs getting free and
So no one-
killing everybody. I'm pretty
no-
okay with that.
No one is filming yet, FYI. Like, there's no film production that's been done right now. Everything's in pause. And the production that's been done is, like, not even in the States.
Yeah, but they're still set
you-
aside.
The only thing that we shoot here is in Georgia.
Can you like do the CGI now and do put it in post?
Yes and no. You definitely do some stuff. Like
what bots are we
previous.
on?
Hi, man.
Oh.
Just give Chris Pratt a green screen for his home.
Are you sure we're not going to do Drestagath? That seems a lot easier.
I don't know. Wes is the man.
Truth.
I'm not tells us what to do.
I would say
Green
either
screen.
or satisfies.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say he's either or, like he's either the man or.
Oh, no.
I'm like, yeah, we can.
What is
that's
or in that?
We just keep learning the boss that we know, but we have attempts on.
That's fair.
We should
If,
just. Have a break.
What is animal typing? What? Virod. Virod!
He's trying to reload. Just do.
Where are we?
Just do
word?
slash
Animal.
RL.
Just smash the keyboard every time.
Wait. That's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I've spent 10 years typing out /console reload UI for 10 years, and there was /RL was an option.
Dude,
Not slash console reload UI.
Like, seriously,
Oh my
the whole-
god, Renzo.
Jesus.
Hey,
You didn't even
save
like.
you.
You didn't even get down to reload. Like,
yeah, I just
down
slash
to
reload.
I thought it was /console reload UI. I didn't know that there was an option.
You could just do /RL.
I've
Oh my
been
God.
typing my attacks in the console.
I had to type out the entire United States Constitution every time I wanted.
Let me tell you one freedom.
Every time I want.
All men are created equal.
No.
Listen, they are created equal. We don't treat them equally, but they are created equal.
It is in Pandaland.
Yay. Where was yesterday? B-Train, your name was all in caps, and every so often I just type out butts, so I thought you were just butts in Discord, and I was like, good for you.
How was the Katie birthday? Did you guys do anything fun?
Not that bad,
Guess not.
Oh, I die quick.
What's this thing?
Hope we get more rings today.
Dude, I want that.
We're now an epic trash farming guild.
Really take your ring.
Now I'm all fucking pumped. My adrenaline's flowing. Let's do this.
Adrenaline through your veins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where is everyone?
I'm sorry, I'm running.
Is it on this?
Is it on what?
Panda.
Swear to God, Animal. I thought you said, is it on piss? And I'm like, I don't know.
What? He said
what
mist.
you just
He said
said.
mist.
I
No.
also heard on piss.
Thank you, Renzo.
Wait.
I know I can always depend on
I
you.
guess I just auto-translate. I don't know.
Yeah, your brain is like pretty good at that.
You don't have time to deal with what if.
Out of it. This is-
I have that every raid.
I ended up in chat.
What? What? Oh, I guess the portals look similar.
I just don't want to end up in Anchorage again.
I don't know how that happened, but I love that. Like, I love how that happened. Like, thank you, game.
But you're doing too much damage to these poor folk. I'm gonna put you in Anchorage. I was like a cat away from killing 3 people.
It's like, you don't actually want to be in this raid right now. You want to go be doing AQ, which are putting in Classic.
Yay.
I mean, it put me inside
Raid right now. You want to go be
AQ full,
doing
like
AQ,
inside,
which
not
are
out, but inside.
in
Like
Classic.
what?
You should have
Yay.
ran
I
it.
mean, it put me
I don't know what
inside
happened right now. You want to go be
AQ
doing-
full, like
So you couldn't
inside,
kill
not
the
out,
guy.
but
Dave threw
inside.
out
Like
3 masters.
what?
You should have
Yay.
ran
I
it.
mean, it put me
I don't know what
inside
happened right now. You
How dare I
wanna-
what?
AQ full, like
So you couldn't
inside,
dare
not
you
out,
do
but
Dave threw out
inside. Like
3
what?
masters.
without our
Jay.
entire guild.
We're on
What
a
if we
strict time
could
schedule here.
raid? What if we could raid masks? What if we could do that? I would do that.
I think that sounds
That would
fun.
Terrible.
That sounds
No,
They
that
should
would be
put-
amazing.
Like I always said, they should put, they should put the horrific vision affix inside the raid.
Actually,
No.
you should work for Blizzard
more
with that
affixes.
idea.
Vision affix inside the raid.
Actually,
No.
you should work for Blizzard
more
with that
affixes.
idea.
Vision affix inside the raid.
Actually,
No.
you should work for Blizzard
more
with that
affixes.
idea.
Vision affix.
Is he trying to commit suicide?
Man, I'll tell you that the fact they reduced the runs to get the cloaks to 15 is something nice. That you can just do 15 runs to get your cloaks 15. That's
Yeah,
good
that
for
sucks.
catching up other.
Yep.
Yep. There you go, Ash. Get your major 50 cloak.
I'm already 7. I tried it.
7.
Yeah.
You
And
gotta
I was
do
like,
this
and then I
8
was
more
like,
times.
why am I doing this? Because it's
It'll be
literally
good.
no, because it's gonna be fucking irrelevant by the time I care about my mage.
It's a legendary cloak. It'll
And
carry
it's not
you
gonna be worth it.
through max level.
Not with the stat squish. No way.
Yeah, maybe like another, what, 3 levels?
What was the weapons in Legion? It was like 3, right? 3 in his
They
replacement.
stopped working after 5.
Yeah, that's what they'll do with this.
Yeah, they
They'll
just-
either
yeah.
negate it, or you'll get diminishing returns as you level up.
Thanks, Ben,
What?
for backing me
I
up.
don't want to enter a raid that's already down boss.
Well, you should.
The leveling process is going to be quite fast anyway, right?
Yes.
God, I
So,
fucking hope
They're
so.
Everyone's gonna
revamping the alt
be-
leveling, which is nice.
Everyone's gonna be hit to 0 or 1. I don't even know how it works.
No,
how it's gonna work.
50.
Okay, so everybody's gonna get to 50, and you're gonna re-level to 60.
What is going to be 50?
All leveling they said is basically going to be like the starter zone, and then the
You pick.
BFA zone.
Oh, there's no
And
picking this time.
You could,
No, you have to do them all.
From 50 to 60, there is no picking. It is a straight path and specific for.
No, yeah, no. So I meant you get to if you already have an alt, like if you already
Level-
have a main, you get to pick like you can go to Kata or
Oh,
whatever you.
Yeah, you're starting from level 1. Yes. Basically, each expansion you can do a bracket, like 10 level bracket. I'm just ready to meet the vampire boys.
Yeah, Taliesin seemed to like their shit.
Yep.
He was excited for them, and then they, made him even happy.
Finishing up summons, let's pull some trash. So I decided to finally watch some videos and shit on Hivemind, and basically we're not doing anything wrong, except people aren't DPSing hard enough.
DPS harder.
But I mean, good news, right? Good news is that we've had at least a couple cycles of the corruption vendor. So.
Oh yeah. But it's like looking at the videos. Usually, the top 10 people are all over 100,000 DPS.
Yeah.
Because it's like you stand in one spot and you cleave your ass off, and stuff dies fast enough that there's actually no healing. Like everybody's running 4 heals who are all doing less than 100,000 healing. Then they're running 5 or even 6 who are all doing more than 100,000, which is a sign of like it's just not dying fast. So it's like everybody's tanking on the side, so that there's absolutely minimal movement for roly-polies. You run your circles out and you just cleave hard.
Derek, just carry us.
He's gonna with his new shiny new trinket. I cannot wait.
Shiny new trinket.
Nah, the trinket's actually awful when it comes to AoEing, but yeah, still, Derek, carry us.
I was thinking about it. I think I know how I'm gonna use it. I thought I'll spend all day thinking about how I was gonna use it on this fight.
Go on.
So I will target the one boss to build up my stacks, and then pop it when the first mob we gotta kill there comes out.
The Ravager.
Yeah.
Ravager.
That'd be nice.
And then
That's what I've been doing.
Then I figure I'll go put it back on after the Ravager's dead. I'll put it back on one of the bosses that we're gonna kite around, and just leave it there.
You get the weak aura to track.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit!
Anyway, we'll give it a couple of pulls and we'll see what happens. It's worth seeing if if minimizing movements, maximizing DPS actually. There's no worry. In all the videos I watched, there was no worrying about bringing the ads in. Everybody was just always stood within 20 yards of the bosses. And there was minimal movement. The melee we just had a GTFO add-on and stepped out of the ass. And stuff just melted.
Guys, back here.
Come on, rings. Now, admittedly, all the videos I watched had 3 or 4 mages in the top 5. So,
yeah, we don't have mages, so
I can fix that.
There was a demon hunter in there too, Brian.
I do the DPS. That's not
Demon
a
BM Hunter.
How many Fury Warriors were in those?
I didn't see any in the top 10 in any of the
Well.
DPS meters. But
I know
it is
what they're
pretty
doing
heavy
now.
cleaves. You guys should be able to be like at least 90.
Any paladins?
There was a
You see-
paladin who was a point of view. He did fine. He was like 3rd. 110. Wings at the right time. Cheap people.
And again, that's all before, being
Oh, this is like
45,
January videos, dude.
And
Like these are
without-
460 people.
almost perfect corruption. Like we have some leeway with it we can play with a little bit.
Oh, and we should be rocking a lot more corruption than they did back then.
Well, I don't know. I think it's probably unsafe to go above 35 or 39.
What we mean is that we have the exact corruption that we actually want and need. We didn't have any of that back in January.
Yeah, I mean, with corruption, ideally on this fight, you never want to go over 40 because you don't want to have to move and you want minimal circles, because it really is about planting your feet and burning your ass. If you have to move too much, that's going to cost you, and the room is kind of shitty for you.
I mean, if you don't want to move, then wouldn't you have to stay under 20 so you don't get the eyeball?
I mean, a small eyeball is not that
The
big.
eyeball is not a big deal, man.
The eyeball only becomes a big deal after you get like 8 stacks.
Yo, you're not supposed to admit that.
One also, like, if you have lower amounts, you'll get less eyeballs. So
The eyeball lasts long, like you get less long as well.
so the overlap is rare.
The eyeball lasts the same amount of time no matter what you're at.
But the
Yeah,
idea
it's
of
just
getting
8 waves.
another one to extend your debuff is rarer.
I thought the only thing that mattered to scale with corruption was the size of the eyeball.
The
Not
size of the eyeball.
Yeah, it
Yeah, it's
doesn't
just
matter.
size.
The proc rate, I think, is the same.
No, because it definitely on my Windwalker set where I run
The
more
proc
corruption.
rate is depending on how much damage you take. Doesn't matter your corruption level.
Not
But in raids or fights where there is a lot of damage, higher proc rate and bigger circles mean you just never stop moving.
I mean,
Anyway,
again, this
point
time you
is-
should know how to deal with your corruption or how much corruption you can realistically manage, right? So,
Theoretically.
be smart. Be smart. Do well.
What are these eyeballs you're talking about?
The
He
things
said,
that bad
he
people
said
have
the
to deal
Canadian thing. He said it, boot.
Does that mean I should put only 20 corruption on?
with.
Don't we
It's,
usually-
again, it's just whatever you feel comfortable with, but it's like you don't want to put extra corruption that will theoretically increase your DPS but cost you health or movement time because it's like super heavy. Like it's a 5-minute fight, not right. Like it's fast and it's cleavy, and you want to plant your feet. Now, Beast Mastery can move, so that's, you guys can do whatever you want. You can just keep moving, spamming Goatman, and like you don't lose as much DPS as say like a Warlock. Anyway, we'll give it another night of tries, and we'll see how we go, and see if actually like if changing the positioning a smidge and minimizing the movement actually gives us enough DPS to.
Yeah, and there's runes. They're stocked up.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't burn the runes on the dog this week, so that's something we can do.
The dog is like a loot trap. It's an anti-pinata.
Yeah, it's a time suck.
Just the main pack, please. Just the one.
That's cute, Liz.
Thanks.
You know
My wife's in the raid, just so you know.
You know we're gonna pull.
Isn't Nick just gonna TD carry us to victory if we do this strategy?
I can't wait.
This is a team game.
I could sit for Mike if it makes sense.
Frig that.
I've already
Nick,
had
man.
You're one of our best DPS, right?
No, not on this fight. I'm sure for this fight.
I mean, I'll sing because we don't need 5 healers. There you go.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's cute though. Wow, you're just like full of them tonight.
I'll sit. I don't mind.
Who hurt?
I'm terrible in this fight.
Mike, we did it. We trusted the King's Rest.
We had like what, 30 seconds left, 15 seconds left,
It
or
was
something.
so good, but like, it was so good. Exactly, and we got an underrot, which is like a not shit key, which is amazing. Which we're definitely
No,
gonna do.
There's no we in this, Missy. I got it.
What?
If you're nice to me, maybe I'll take.
Oh
it.
yeah, are you gonna run it alone?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm running it alone. Okay.
You-
Enjoy that.
You could take Roberta.
Could
I
take-
got a workshop 16.
I mean, that's pretty. Oh, that's fun.
You could take any healer, right?
I need the fucking ring. Yeah, take less.
I'm taking Mike. Mike is gonna heal me, and
Oh.
I'm gonna tank.
You can take any healer. Yeah, take Wes. Dang,
No.
Bash.
Well, I'm just saying.
Just saying what? What are you
Mister.
saying? What
I
are you
haven't
saying,
done.
woman?
I haven't done a million things in a universe because I'm a responsible
There's an
adult. who has
eyeball. Murder it. Murder the eyeball.
Adult priorities.
Sorry, I had a shot call that eyeball. All right, eyeball down.
I think I saw it.
Can you keep shot calling like that?
Eyeball down, eyeball, kill it.
Buster.
That was like I can't move very fast. Buster.
Also,
Nobody gets it. Nobody gets it, animal.
somebody sweat blasted me and I ran off to the lawn.
Somebody is a
It
hero.
was Mike. It was Mike.
It was definitely
It
Mike.
was definitely Mike.
Damn it, Mike.
Why would you do that, Annabelle?
Why would you? Yeah, you're supposed to be like pink buddies.
I don't
Yeah.
think I can even bubble and survive.
You are
So-
two in the pink.
Infinite Stars isn't that good on this.
Terrible in this fight.
Not
It's
at all.
absolutely
Okay.
awful.
Well, then I can lose that direction.
Yeah.
Sod.
TDs can be good, although you gotta manage your position, but really, like, everybody should be slowly moving to expedients and severes. And
You gotta stack that critical strike, Dana.
I don't have critical strike to tap. Sack. I've been working on it though.
Oh, good.
Well, a little bit.
Well, critical strike and haste are both really good for.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you get the crazy stats to multiply.
Dana,
He's
don't
actually,
forget.
he actually seems better for
You
me.
can buy
but
the
I still like
corruptions, remember. So we'll let you know when it's in the vendor.
Yeah, let me know when they come back around. I should have enough
The
to get one.
Severe's 3
Crit
weeks
one?
away.
Oh, I thought it was like 2 weeks away.
It's oh yeah, well, I thought it was like 3 ago, but I guess it's only 4.5.
Yeah, it's basically
Yeah.
a month between.
Yeah, haste
The
is up
expedient's
until
up right
tomorrow,
now.
Dana. Yeah.
Yeah,
The haste one's up right now. If you want. I don't know what BM actually, if they want to balance between the haste and the crit, or if they just want all of one. I don't know.
I don't know what they're doing,
It-
Dana,
Is
Dana,
that
don't
the
forget.
one that?
I thought it was your wife's birthday.
That was yesterday.
It's this one, Dana.
And you have so much time between now and the next time?
Yeah, I have one of those on.
Yeah, so like ideally what you want is like 3 or 4 of them, Dana, and you drop every other corruption you have. You just like everything that's 475 and decently itemized gets one of those +2s. Like
Except for your
haste.
bow. You don't drop your bow.
Yeah, it's only the like standard ones, not the like special ones. But like you drop all of the void rituals, you drop all of the infinite stars, you drop everything for those things, and you're gonna get your crit up like 50-60%. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Just check with Derek and he can help step you through which item should be which, and then just work on it. You're the kind of like with the way you do content, you'll have a ton of the points by the time the crit one.
Like for me, expedient seems better because of the logic loop and the other one, but like right now when we get under bloodlust, it's almost unplayable. Like it's just so fast that I was like, you know what, I don't need more hate.
My enhancement shaman used to do that.
I can't press buttons fast enough. I'm
Okay,
too
so
old.
both of the people that I was watching started over on the right instead of the left for the reason that there is some space up in here. Just I don't want to run into the boss, but like up here where you can kind of be safe from roly-polies, and it lets the tanks have a wall again to aim the frontal at. And then basically the whole raid just stacks here, and you don't move for the first 2 minutes. The only time you move is if you're standing in acid or to spread out your black swirls. Other than that, you just step out of the way of roly-polies and keep nuking, keep nuking, keep nuking. The tank who takes on the split drags it out toward the middle of the room. The rest of us just stay here and keep nuking, keep nuking, keep nuking. Stuff comes to us, and we just heal through it. It's like, it really is personal responsibility of not standing in shit and just burning your ass off. And ideally, like, before the flying dudes are up, they should be sub 70.
So you'd be moving Kazir out for the split, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So when they're together, we should be focusing Kazir.
Yeah, and you just kind of wing it. Like once you're done the first bloodlust and cleave phase, you kind of just sometimes the range switch to Kadir if there's nothing else up, like we're not cleaving.
Thinking that if you're going to stay in the same spot the whole time, and that guy's going to get moved away for a while, you'd want to focus him when they're together, and then Tekris when they're split.
Yeah, pretty much. If you're, you know, if you're doing primarily single target damage, then that is absolutely what you do. All right, let's do flasks.
Are we skipping the second?
Yes,
Okay.
we are healing through it. There are Vantis runes in tab 2. Grab one, throw it up. Grab yourself a flask. Yeah, Chris. Basically, the objective is that by the time you're done the second wave of spawns with the ad that you don't kill, they're like 40%. Like, it's a burn fest. And then past that point, you do start to move. Tanks also just sort of like, there is a movement phase, which is largely the two of you can take the ads and move off the wall to deliberately stack them in and near the darters. Darters need to die, and so you can kind of move enough that Nick can start pulling one or two in, or you can move on top of one. You burn stuns to keep it in the cleave, and you make sure they blender. Like, the darters must die, and they need to be dying with sort of focused fire while continuing to boss DPS. You can't afford to send everyone off to kill darters while we ignore the bosses for 20 seconds. It's bring the bosses to them so we can keep clean. Okay. Health pots. Let's throw fresh health stones in case people missed it at the start. And this is just, it is a DPS race, guys. Like, this is a race because you got to kill it so there's less damage for the healers to heal, etc., etc. So the basic idea is we basically tank here, ish. Like, plunk their bodies on top of this. You can stand along this wall, and you can stand out here. And then melee, you guys start in close, and then as acid drives you away, you can kind of rotate out into the room and around this way. Just never get it directly in front where the cone is. Don't get hit by the cone. Let's give it a try and just see how far we can get on the pole and get a feel for it and see where our DPS is at and what they're going to be able to pull this off.
Hunters, feel free to misdirect the Ravager to either tank.
Which one are you focusing for first?
Sorry, Kazir. What
Okay.
Ben said, because
Just
Kaz gets pulled out into the room, and so you got to do DPS to it. I mean, you don't so much, but people who primarily do single target and don't have spread dots.
And
need to
we're
focus
two
Kaz as much.
tanking it?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I...
No, the Ravager should blow the fuck up. And then the second Ravager comes around, and you should only ever have two. The second Ravager is second pots. Just 2-minute cooldowns are all up. Burn it again. Eat some food, guys. Bunch of you missed it. And flasks for some reason. Paladins? Paladins!
What?
Who's taking Kazir?
I don't.
Nick usually takes Kazir.
And we have somebody, Mike is going to stay on with him to be back
help
up.
with the
for
interrupt.
I have to do all the hard things, Ash. You're right.
Honestly,
Thanks,
like,
Mike.
Dayrun's cooldown is slow, but since he's so single target, I would also suggest Dayrun be the Kazir backup. If both of them are off or they miss a button, you have that 40-second, once in a while, range interrupt.
Yeah,
I'm happy to do
we
so.
may need to switch it around too, because Mike's cleave is pretty good. So sending a cleaver off to the middle of nowhere doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. You want the melee who's
Well, Kazir will always
most
have
single.
cleave targets. Tekris will be the only person who is single.
Are
I thought you said we're
we-
pulling Kaz out in the middle of the room.
Correct, because Kaz is the one who has babies.
Are we
Oh,
still
yeah.
trying to
You're
So
saying because
no, so then
most of the
that's
ads
backwards.
are around the middle of the room.
Yeah, no, we don't want the ads in the middle of the room. We want everything in blue for the first 2.5 minutes. We don't want to have to move. So
Yeah.
whoever's going to spawn the second wave of ads stays at blue, and the other person.
Okay, so then I move Tekris away.
Right. So we will be on Tekris first. Because, so it's exactly backwards of what people are saying.
Backward, okay.
Yeah, because we basically want... They're both going to be here. They spawn ads. You move the non-ad one away. Ads. You move them back together. Ads. You move the non-ad one away. Ads. And they die.
But we want all the melee around blue to attract the spawns to be around blue, and all the range for the darters to be around blue, so they're all near blue.
Pretty much. Okay. The only time that we leave blue together as a team is when darters are up. In which case you can drag bosses on top of darters to increase.
Okay.
go to pull. See how it works. Just be in
Are
here,
we
guys.
CCing the darters still?
Only the
5,
second wave of darters. First
4,
wave of darters just gets
3,
blown up.
2,
Bloodlusting the pull.
1.
As soon as they're here.
Beware.
Lust, please. Loose spread, guys, as you have time, because you're going to need to run the black stuff out toward the middle of the room a bit. We can't all be... Echoing void, 7 seconds. Drones are coming.
Ravager's up.
At least done.
I have him.
Spread your shit.
Beware.
Just need to be loose spread for this. Keep DPSing, keep DPSing. Bring it back in.
Beware. Beware.
Rollies, just dodge them. You're in here, you just dodge them. Get to the side. Rotate your camera so you can see the room. Watch for the ones that are coming back this... Keep going, keep going.
Beware.
Darters, everyone has to switch. Tank on top of them, drag them in,
5,
stun them in place.
4,
Leave
3, 2,
I've got Salve up for the
1.
first transition. Chris, be ready with as people start to spike.
1. Beware.
Spread it.
Shit. I'm confused on which one. Someone get the next Kaz or please.
I died. I'm
Bring it back in, bring it back in. You should be on top of Kaz. Ignore the eruption.
Beware.
Don't spread out on this one, guys. Roly-poly, just step around.
There's still a darter up.
That needed to have died.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread the voids.
Yeah, are they? I mean, are you thinking they're gonna come into the blender? Because
Beware.
That's... There's not that
They
many
should
of them.
target.
The tanks should move to the first 2, and then the last one gets gripped, and then they just melt. If they didn't, then people do have to go chase them down. Yeah, but
I was at a range of 1 the entire time.
well, when the darters spawn, we do leave the wall as a group. The tanks bring the bosses out,
5,
and we burst the darters. As soon as they're dead, we're back in position. Rollies again.
1.
Oh, well, I mean, we're literally still staying.
Beware.
So did we not call it, or were we supposed to know?
I called it. Maybe people just didn't hear it. It was messy. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, we're learning.
Wipe it quick.
Wipe it quick.
Probably the lowest.
Beware.
Oh yeah, lusting the pull makes a pretty big difference. Like, that's 50 and 69. And it was a bad transition with the darter still up, still splashing, right? And now that people have seen it, don't release, don't release.
And both tanks will be willy-nilly running to darters during that, correct?
Yeah, so there's only 3 darters, right? That is so idea is, like, ideally, whatever one is closest to us, we move on top of it, it gets stunned, we blow it up. While we're doing that, Nick can hopefully get range on a second one to bring it in, and then if need be, the third one gets chased down. But all often, like, you're hoping that 2 spawn close enough to melee that they can just be stunned right there. You blow them up, a third is a grip, we're done.
Do you mean
Oh, wait.
the Tekris cone? Wicked? Kaiser doesn't have a cone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's
Yeah.
also another reason why usually Tekris is the one against the wall.
So while I'm all willy-nilly out there, I shouldn't have to worry about hitting people with it, but a couple melee were out there with me.
Yeah,
So-
but why don't we just have Tekra still on the wall and Kazir move to the middle?
That's what I was assuming, but Wes said no.
Right. And then I'm still confused. So you said that we want to have Nick grip one of the darters into the wall, but then you said that we're supposed to be moving away from the wall. Are we?
I didn't say
Which one are
grip
we
it to
doing?
the wall. I said
If
grip
it's
it to the blast.
possible, yeah, if it's possible to not move and kill one, we're gonna not move and kill one. But if it's not, we'll move to it and kill it.
You know, ideally, one will spawn somewhere within 20 yards of the boss blender. The tanks move the bosses that direction, and we blow that one up. Hopefully, Nick now has range on another one to bring it to us wherever we are. Third one maybe is near. If not, we gank it. It's fine. And then we go back to the wall. Yes, it is probably easier for the tanks to kind of be out in the middle of the room with Kaz. It's way harder to dodge shit out there. And that's why, like, if you're in a corner, there's a limit. Like, when we're over here on the right-hand side, there's only one direction roly-polies can come at you. And that's out in the room like this. You don't have to watch your left, you don't have to watch your right, you just watch out in the room. And that means you can plant your feet and mostly nuke, and it's a speed race.
Hey Wes, you were saying don't move DPS like
I'm confused.
flat out right after the purple circles bursted around us, and then there's the thing in the middle that you have to get out of from the ground, like the little tentacle that pops up. Do you intend for us to stand through those, or or actually get out of those?
You take one step to the right and keep nuking.
I'm asking because you were saying don't move just as it was happening, so I'm just making sure.
Yeah, no, like obviously you deal with that mechanic. That's not the question. It's the idea is you don't spend a lot of time running around. Like
No, that's
you saw
fine.
sort of what
I'm just
happened.
making sure. Because I moved out of it.
Okay, just trying to clarify for everyone so everyone understands. You saw everyone was sort of stacked right here on the pole, and then when that first shadow happened, it was a lot of running for some people because we had to spread too much. As we engage and they come running in just before Lust, kind of loosely spread. Use this space here and spread out enough that we're not on top of each other. And that way, when you have to move for the purple, it's a few steps, drop it off, one step to the right or left, because now you're out of your own circle. Keep nuking. And once the ground is clear and everything's good, you can kind of collapse back in for the next wave, which adds.
I think the second circle that spawns under like the actual swirly is a little smaller than the big circle that you have you're spacing. So if you're just
only
a little
4
bit,
yards.
yeah.
It's really not that hard to dodge.
So, can you give us an example with markers of how you want us to split the bosses and where they're going to be when they're split? Because I'm a little confused at this point.
Just second boss there.
So you want the big dude there.
You want the tall, skinny dude with the cone, the shadow cone out there, kind of spinning around.
Why would he spin around? Just aim him
To
at
dodge.
the, like...
I have to dodge things while I'm in the middle. I can't stand through the swirlies. I can't stand through the buggies.
Which ones? What are you talking about?
The roly-poly.
I mean,
If I'm in the middle and I get hit with a 25% mortal strike,
the timing could work out where he's dodging.
and I turn it on to a melee or somebody.
The point, though, is if you're out there and your back is to that large tentacle that's going off across the northwest of the room, or I guess it's not northwest, it's this direction. As long as your back is kind of vaguely in that direction, you have a full 180 that you can move in without aiming it at. Go anywhere you want over there, just don't aim it at blue.
Okay.
Is there a reason why we need him in the middle and we can't swap the two? Because it just seems like a whole lot of like RNG for Keith when we could just have him tank Tekris on the wall.
Okay, so which would you rather?
On the middle.
19 people dodging roly-polies or 1?
Why don't we just have DPS switch to Tekris when we're splitting so that
Yeah,
nobody
so we start
on I think the ad spawn on Kazir is what he said.
Spawn on Kazir. You got to kill the little ad. You don't have to kill the big explosion.
They just spawn.
They spawn near a player. Kazir empowers them.
I don't think it has anything to do with either boss, no?
No, it does not. It's within range of a player.
Well, the only reason I said take Tekris out there was that people were saying that the ads would spawning and staying near Kazir. If they're just random, then it's totally fine. Just
I'm pretty sure it's random the whole collapse.
It just comes to people. It's random.
Yeah,
If it's
That's why we collapse.
Because everyone's
so
collapsed.
that's fine. So just switch it back so Nick takes little dude out there. Is that right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, Nick's has much stuff, but it's not so bad because there's no front.
Fine with that.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to,
I'm fine
you're gonna
dodging.
have to sign in a
but
melee again.
I
to
think I
him
clipped
now.
somebody last time.
His mic won't be in the middle of the circle if he's the one doing.
Huh?
I thought we had Renzo interrupt.
I am.
He cannot.
Renzo's
not every second one.
Cooldown is not short enough to be able to alternate.
Has to be a melee.
Michael just hang out with Nick. Yeah, that's fine. Let's give another pull. See if we can get it cleaner. Get the position clean. Make sure the darters die. That is, the darters are.
Suck it,
darters
Mike,
are
you
the-
have to hang out with me.
The darters are the one time you absolutely do target switch. You cannot just let Cleave take care of them. You must switch, stun, burn, dead, back in the boss. Like, it's the one time. The other ads, like the Ravager, can pretty much die to Cleave. You can cleave off of it. Like the little shits can die to Cleave. You've got to single target focus burn, get those things dead. Because if they keep hopping around the room, it's just a ton of damage.
And if you burn your interrupt on them and your stun and they're getting ready to cast again and you have a CC will interrupt them. You just hit them right out of it.
What are your cooldowns?
Well, I have my silence is 45 seconds, but I can talent it to be.
It goes
30.
off every 10 seconds or so.
Okay.
Sorry, that was my bad. No,
What?
that was my.
Oh, thank you. Got it off. You got it off. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I was in my spellbook trying to link something, and instead I cast interrupt shot out.
You cast shit out of your spellbook, don't you?
Yeah,
No,
Ren's
no,
cool-
I was
Ren's
trying to
cooldown is
link
24
it.
seconds.
Yeah, I was trying to link it. Is what I was trying to do.
I mean,
Officer 12.
have to do it too. Yeah.
The key is though is keeping the rotation proper. Because it does get a little. There's a spot where he casts his cast, and then so everyone's cooldown will be up, and then everyone will think they'll be up to do it. And
Yeah, so we just let a cycle for it.
But just let a melee do it. It doesn't necessarily have to be Mike. He can do it for the moment. We'll figure it out as we get better at the rhythm. Okay. Positions, as we pull ranged, please do take advantage of all of the space from where I'm bouncing right now, right near to these red egg things, all the way out here, turn a corner, all the way out here. Like, use the space, spread out, don't stand on top of anybody else. Especially DPS, you want to ideally not have to move for your purple swirlies. Just keep nuking, take a step out of the little tentacle, keep going. It's all about that maximum first minute DPS.
Okay, I picked my spot. Move.
No one's allowed to stand on Dana's head.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Lust.
Oh, we switched. Am I dancing or are you dancing? Okay, no. You'll do the dance.
Give yourself to the void.
Ravage coming in.
Beware.
Void's coming.
2, 1.
Just drop the shit off.
Beware.
somebody else got mine then, so I've screwed up. Somebody covered me again.
I'll get
then.
this one.
Beware.
Rollies. Heads up. They're mostly on top. You just got to get out of their way and let them go out in the room. Finish the Ravager. Stop standing in acid. You guys should be getting BBM yells to say move the fuck it.
Okay, so I'm next. Okay, or you take next. You go next.
5.
Mine is
4.
up. So you go next.
3, 2, 1.
Beware. 4.
Alright, so he goes in the middle.
1. Beware.
And that was just a bad transition. Where we didn't have healer cooldowns up. See, the drones are like running around because people aren't back in position. Roly-polies.
Beware. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beware.
Just wipe it. Don't release the guts. So like where I'm seeing people dying, you're basically too spread out, I think, and part of it too is that we dropped a lot of acid like right here on the wall. Ideally, we want the acid to die a little bit further out here, just so that we keep like, so that they're basically dying right here, and you can keep moving around that acid spot for another full cycle before you need to like say, okay, I'm out of floor space, we've got to move, and then we just move along the wall.
So ideally, as soon as the void goes out, we want to stack tight.
As soon as the void is done and the floor is clear again, get your butts back into basically where you started. Yes, and then the tanks will take care of shit, and we will let the ads come to us and kill them as they get. That second wave is really way less important, right? The transition wave, because we let the big guy die and we don't bother trying to kill it and beat it, which means all we gotta do is deal with little shits and we just cleave them down. And like once a bunch of them are stacked up, feel free to like drop an AoE stun or something, and they just melt. They don't take long. All right. Ideally, just on the pull, use the space effectively, guys. Tanks that put you a little bit further out from the wall on the blue square, so just be out a little bit further there, so there's a little more space for acid drops. A couple people, early people, died to standing in acid. That can't happen. With this strat, you have to watch your feet. You have to listen for the DBM telling you to move, and you've got to get out of the acid. Doesn't kill you very fast. It's really easy to get out of. You just got to like not stand there till you die. All right.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Plus me.
Give yourself to the void.
Ravager's up. Void in 5. Just watch your feet. You ideally shouldn't have to move until after you drop it off. Just don't overlap the circles too much. Don't hit your friends. Then you can share the clean space. Rollies, 3 seconds. Just dodge around where they spawn, and then wait for ones to come from all the way across the... Darters, everyone should be on dart. Get those stuns rolling.
Ravager's still alive.
How?
Beware.
I'll tell you.
Dying now? Yeah.
4,
Okay.
2.
Salve is up. Chris Red.
4, 3, 2, 1. Beware.
Yeah, where possible, spread that void out. Get the darters dead. As soon as they're dead, bring it all back in. Bring it back in. Get to tech. They're coming to you guys. If you stand out there, they're going to stand on top.
Beware.
Roly-polies.
Beware. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beware.
There's the explosion.
Beware.
Ooh.
We're done, right?
Oh yeah. We ended with it. I do.
5, 4,
Brazier's out.
3,
Brazier's
2,
out, and we'll see what
1.
happens.
I've got reincarnate.
Beware.
So I didn't feel safe to move back into blue because there was just a bunch of green around. So that's why I stayed out there.
The only problem is when 5 people do that, then the ads don't stack up and they don't die.
Yep.
So part of it, I think, is that the first wave of ads died so quickly that they just died like not stacked up near the melee. They were all the way back to the wall, which is fine. I guess if that happens, we just need to kind of switch our, because I get not wanting to run back through the green because then you're trapping yourself. But also, if we stay spread, we will never win because the ads were just running everywhere.
So the room isn't huge, but couldn't we just essentially, like, with each wave of ads, kind of drift across a wall, I guess, so that we keep opening up more space?
Yeah, I think that's all we have to do is just sort of, we'll start with the ads on blue, and then when it's the first split is successfully done and the wave is up with the explodey dude, we just tank whoever we're dealing with, like, here. And we kind of just go around him, and then we just kind of keep moving clockwise around the room as this is where the raid should be, and we just always stay near. The advantage of the one that's over near blue is it's really ideal because there's a bunch of space here. The roly-polies can never spawn like behind you. If you're back in here, you can't have roly-poly spawning behind you.
Can we move green to where Tekris is right now? So we'll go counterclockwise as we need to move. So as I'm moving Tekris, I do not endanger anybody with the cone.
Sure.
So I'll move ahead of the raid, and the raid can then waddle over to me.
Yep. It's fine.
We're thinking of blue, and we're starting here, right?
Yeah.
Instead of starting here, why don't we move, what is it, 90 degrees? We group between green and blue. We do the first phase, we kill the first ads, all the green drops there, and then we move here before the roly-polies come out. So all the green will be there, and we are still in a good spot for the next
Yeah, I like
phase.
that. We can just basically start at green, effectively, and then just move to blue. That way we're moving into this nice corner for the maximum amount. Cool. I like it. Let's do it. Beyond that, let's just set up the healer cooldowns now, because I am missing calls, and so it's not worth fucking around with it. First transition, I will hit salve just before, and then Chris will use trank. Second transition, Roberta will hit salve just before. Brian will use trank, and Fiddy, you're gonna devo the explosion.
Yep.
And we'll also have Ben shout the explosion. Can I trust you to watch the explosion timer and call shout devo?
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, bud. So there, we've got, and then so if I haven't called one of your cooldowns, like I didn't call either Tree, I didn't call either Divine Hymn, those are free for all. Just when the raid spikes, feel free. But like we need 2 cooldowns for each transition, and we need 2 cooldowns to make sure people don't die to the explosion. And then beyond that, it isn't actually that much healing. Like what we're doing is enough. It's just the big surges we've got.
So with that transition that you want Trank, the first time I ran into, if I do it on transition, then the purple swirlies come out, and I have to stop the cast. So
Yeah.
I was waiting. The second time I waited till after the swirlies.
That's totally fine. It lasts for 12 seconds. I have salve up. That should keep people alive for the first 6, which gets you into the swirlies. And the instant you can plant your feet, hit trank, it'll catch people up, and we'll all just try and spot heal the people.
Alright.
Yeah, the transition is rough, and people need to be ready with a Hellstone, because it's 24 ticks of a dot. It's 12 seconds of hell, where it does 600,000 damage across those 12 seconds. You got time, though. It's a slow dot. It hits the whole rate, so you've got to have something big. Ben, what is the duration of the show?
Or duration?
Like when you shout, how long will that?
10 seconds.
Perfect, that's fine. So, yeah, we like aim for, say, let's just be like, explosion in 5, explosion in 2, shout goes up, devo goes. We are engaging at green. The tanks are just going to grab Tekris where he is, drag Kaz on top, and aim themselves at the wall. Move your way out. You should not be at blue or closer to the wall. Get your butts out here. Set up. Lust. Remember, ads will come to you, which means you need to be set up so that the ads do not die in a bad spot. That's on you. Here they come. Ravager's up. Let's cleave off of it, guys. Once it's here.
4, 3, 2, 1. Beware.
Check for the acid. Don't stand on it. Okay, roly-polies are coming. You want to be nearer to the wall if at all possible, otherwise we're trusting you to dodge everything that comes out. Here they come, roly-polies.
How did you get aggro on the rabbit?
I had it. We both had taunt.
Did you taunt him by accident or something?
No, I don't have taunt like present, holy.
I don't know what even happened.
I'm just really threatening.
Okay, everyone should be on the psionic. And they just separated. Once that one moved off the wall.
4,
I'm dead, Roberta. Salve up.
2, 1.
Beware. 4.
Stay on those darters. We let them get away.
Beware.
Okay, wipe it up.
Can we just move to blue?
Beware.
Or is that after?
We should have been a blue basically 5 seconds ago. That's when the the blue move happens is as soon as the little, like, by the time the little ads with the volatiles spawn, we want to be at the blue. I have a res, do not release. And the only other thing I want to fix is just try and encourage people to sort of stand on the out of the room side of green, so the acid doesn't spawn on the wall. So there's a clear path for the tanks to bring it from green to blue, and then we've got a nice area around blue for the same. It's just rhythm at this point, guys. We just gotta, like, the Ravager's gotta die. It's the primary target. You cleave off of it, not off anything else. As soon as it's dead, when the flying dudes spawn, we switch to them. And I'll get Ben to call that. He was doing it last time we were here. Just like, flying dudes are up, we gotta go. Tanks will bring the bosses to the closest one, if at all possible. Nick will grip one, if at all possible. Chain your stuns, chain your interrupts, keep it from casting, burn it. If it dies clean, and those three are dead, it's a clean transition, and that's what we need to get into the second phase.
And we need to have the Ravager dead before those darters come out.
Yep. Yeah. No, and that's a targeting thing. When people are paying attention and everybody's cleaving off the Ravager, it melts. When people kind of start moving and just choose random targets, it doesn't melt, and it has to. Just get it dead, because then there's one less thing to worry about. If a couple of the little dudes don't die, we don't care. It's Ravager dead, then the rest of them, and then hopefully darters, and then we have a clean transition, and then we do it all again. All right, here we go. Don't be like me when you're dodging roly-polies. Just go to the wall. It's not worth fucking around with it.
3, 2, 1.
Bring it on in. Don't be in the line between green and blue, because that's where the acid will drop. Just try and edge out into the room a little. Here they come. Ravager's been chosen. Switch.
4, 3, 2.
There it is.
1.
Spread it out.
Beware.
Bring it back in. Keep going on the Ravager. Rollies and 5. Be ready to move toward the wall.
Beware.
Move. Ravager dead. Flying dudes, go.
Beware.
Watch out for the void.
What?
Because I have to move him into the raid, it has a chance to hit you.
Everybody should be killing the darters.
Okay, not everybody has to move to do that.
1.
That is part of it, yeah. So, it's okay. It's a call we need to make. Okay. It's alright. It's a call we have to make, though, Keith. You can't just move. You gotta, nice and loud, moving, get out of my way. And now people know to listen for it and know what it means.
Well,
I mean, people really shouldn't be standing between blue and green, because we know the tanks are gonna be...
Well, no, they should actually. No, that's wrong. They should, because that's where we dodge the roly-polies. It's just as soon as the roly-polies are done, you get off the wall
You
again,
don't
and that's
have
something
to dodge the roly-polies in any specific place. You just have to not get... You can dodge them at any place.
Yeah, there is an optimal spot in blue corner, but if you can just get to a wall, you'll be safer.
But the only wall we have is green to blue, because this is where we live for the first minute. Nobody should be running a red X to dodge roly-polies. That is a massive loss.
I don't know if any of the other melee are having this problem, but
it doesn't
we
have
are.
to be white part of the wall. It could be the edge of that.
Yeah.
Don't interrupt. Hey, don't interrupt, Ben. Ben.
But we are running out of space real fast with that acid, and eventually the only space is standing in front of the boss where we don't want to be standing.
Yeah,
I mean, you can stand in front of the boss. You just gotta dance away from the cleave, the projected cone. You can stand in front of the boss as much as you want. You just gotta dodge that, just like the tanks do.
But all we do that, aren't we going to cause acid to drop in front?
You might.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, but all the acid should be down by the time we're going to move in front of the tanks. So, like, if you run into a space because of the acid, then move in front of the tanks, and it's fine. But stay out as much as you can. But if you have to, then the only DPS space is in front of the tanks. Do that, because the only thing you have to worry about is the projected cone, which is very easy to dodge.
I guess I don't understand why, if we're moving from green to blue, I don't understand why. Like, I understand that Keith is trying to keep him with us, right? But like, why isn't he facing him the other way the whole time? Like, why would he ever be facing him towards?
He was moving. That's why he was
So
actually
just to
actively
taunt, I have to move there. But for the most part, the cone is always pointed at the wall. There is just a moment where they need the bosses back on blue with the roly-polies. So we were slow on the Ravager, so once we got the Ravager dead and I could move, I started to go. But
it's just a messy fight. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of ground effects, and the timing is extremely tight. When stuff dies clean, there's a lot more time for us to do what we.
I still think starting on blue and going to green would fix a lot of those issues, because we'll be here when the first roly-polies start out, because we're not fast enough on the Ravager.
Okay, so we'll just start at blue. That's fine.
Okay.
Alright. Starting here again, we are going to green. That has the advantage that Keith will be moving away from anywhere the raid might be, because nobody's going to be out at green. And he can head there without any worries about the cone. And it means, yes, we're losing this corner, but we'll just leave our acid here, which actually means as much as possible until the first shadow. Tuck yourself in nice and tight. We want the acid all spawning in here near blue, and then we're just going to move out in the room and leave it behind.
East.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. But Chris said it's correct.
You're on the room side?
He's saying if you're in the center of the room, the cone will be aimed like blue to green or green to blue or at the wall or something, but it'll never be aimed out into the room. It's just if you're going to be out in the room, you can't get hit by rollies. That's on you. It's not that hard to do, but it does take a lot of concentration while you're trying to also hit things. Alright, here we go. Let's see if we can successfully do 2 transitions, shall we?
Yeah, we did real good with that first pull. I think getting closer to that will help a lot of things.
Yeah, we're just getting the rhythm, and if the Ravager dies, then everything is a lot.
Give yourself to the void.
Here comes the void. 5 seconds before the Ravager splits in, switch to the Tark. Spread it out.
1. Beware.
Try and leave the drones in the stun. In next to blue. That's it.
Beware. Beware.
Rollies.
Good.
Rolly, rolly, rollies. Keith, you can start to gently move. Flyers are up. Try and bring some on top.
Beware.
Keep on the flyers, keep on the flyers. 5 seconds to the transition.
4.
Should we be moving as a unit to flyers?
1.
Yes.
Beware.
That was the strat.
I thought it was only during the split.
2. 1. Beware.
No, it's before the split.
Okay, my bad.
Get to the flyers must die. So I actually think, yeah, Chris, I think you need to pop the Trank and then accept that you lose the last 2 seconds of it versus waiting for the end of the shadow. Timing doesn't-
I'm dead.
Yeah, poison got off.
No,
I fucked up. I fucked up.
it's all good. It's all good. Wipe it quick.
4.
Soulstone's out.
3. 2.
The rhythm was okay there for the first 35 seconds. And it started to go to shit, but we can fix that. people were dying to roly-polies. So again, like, this is one of those fights where there is a massive personal responsibility thing where you just must dodge those. You have to.
I have many
I did an Ash.
Is that what we call that?
Do you need them? Do you need the weaker?
Is there a purple friend who can? I'll be there.
You need to calm down with your DPS.
Listen, I just stood where I thought was the right thing to do, and it just worked. I highly recommend you do.
Just play aware. I mean, you can follow most of the strat and play aware.
The only thing that I would ask is that you not be too spread on the intermission where they transition and it's 12 seconds, unless you got a good personal. It's a fuck ton of damage, and if you're not in
a mushroom
or wild growth or prayer of healing range, just because you're spread too much from the rest of the raid, all you're getting is trank and salve, and that may not be enough to save you. Just because we're just gonna play popping AoEs. We don't have time for single target on that 12 seconds. Hardly, not a lot of it. Okay, that was working. The DPS is there, so we just need to make sure as soon as the Ravager dies, it's okay to target switch off the bosses on the Ravager and just clean up the little shits. And then Ben, as soon as the flyers are out, nice and loud, flyers out. At that point, both tanks can move off the wall to the nearest flyer, and that sort of gets you. Thank you, flyer darter, yeah. And that gets you kind of. Nick is halfway to where he needs to be because he's now off the wall, and Keith is kind of out from blue and away from the acid. It means he can head straight to green when the darter's dead or when it's transition.
We can't be too far away, so.
I was just gonna ask: are we following someone to the dart?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ben?
Put a marker on me, so I don't
Thank
have to
you.
keep trying to put a mark on the mob.
Yep. So basically, what should happen ideally is one of the darters will always spawn close enough that the tanks can shimmy to it. Stun that. It has to get stunned. It can't move. We'll burn it. The tanks are on top of it. Nick will grab another one if he can reach it. And if he can't, then all of the DPS just switch off the bosses, follow Ben, beat the shit out, follow Ben. Second one's dead, back on the bosses, salve goes up, intermission. That's the rhythm. They all have to die before intermission, though, otherwise we're fucked.
I got it. Follow the square. Got it.
Alright,
Again, once the Ravager is dead, the darters are going to be up.
5,
Yeah, you got
4,
3 to 6 seconds
3,
tops.
2.
So you can, you
1.
can hit the bosses, make sure your dots are up on the bosses, and then just be ready to switch off. Because all 3 gotta die fast. Make you have.
Give yourself to the void.
Just before Void goes out, if we can get an AoE stun on the drones, just so they don't move it.
3, 2, 1. Beware.
Focus the Ravager. Almost dead before rollies.
Watch out
Good,
for
that's
cone.
too long. Rollies. Heads up. Just step out, step out. Oh, fuck. Okay. 10
There are
seconds on
darters.
dart.
Or Nick, we can go take this first one.
5, 4, 3.
Salves up.
2,
Chris
1.
ready.
Beware.
Pop it, Chris.
3, 2, 1. Beware.
Bring it back, bring it back. Come on, guys. Go to Keith. Rollies soon anyway. You want to kind of be getting...
Go to green flag.
Beware.
Rollies.
Beware. 4, 3, 2,
Void.
1. Beware.
Was that shout just really early, or was that...
Yeah, that was my fault. It was super early.
That was on the spawn of it, not on the finish of the cast?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. That was much cleaner, much smoother. We got that far. We'll be able to practice that again on the next one. Don't know if there's much left to learn, because we got darters and adds up, and burnt down a bunch of DPS. Yeah. Just try and finish the darters, guys. Just practice that. Ben is still alive. Follow him to the darters.
And Nick is moving to the darters, yes?
5.
Nick's out in the room and has like a darter nearby. He's welcome to do it because then we get a little bit of cleave DPS on his ad.
Beware.
That's good.
All together.
And we're coming together, and this is the transition where we would pop Roberta's thing, and we're just melting. We have a dead Brian.
We have a dead everything.
And that's good enough. Okay, let's. We have a res up. Actually, we don't. What do we pop? Battle res? That was my son.
On you.
May need to run this one, but that's okay. We can talk a little bit. I think that was that rhythm was there. We just got to clean it up a little bit and not lose people, but that rhythm was definitely there. Good job. Okay, so that's the rhythm. If the Ravager dies, then as soon as the Ravager dies, you got 3 seconds to refresh your dots or whatever, and then you're moving to the first flying dude, darter. If possible, Keith and Nick will bring the bosses off the wall and stack them in a spot where the darters can be stunned on top of them so we get a bit of extra DPS. If they can't, they can't. It's not that big of a deal. Either way, all DPS, you're following Ben and you're beating the shit out of whatever he hits. Kill it fast. The faster they're dead, the faster you're back on the bosses.
It might be better if you had Brian be the lead on that.
Alright.
A little faster.
Because I'm switched one of my talents so I could do a stun, and I don't have my double charge anymore.
The Demon Hunter who
I'm
picking
leading the charge on.
Yeah, pick the closest darter and just stun it. Call it loud and clear. Darter's up, let's get it. And you just like head for one and everybody just falls.
Including
I
tanks.
didn't know that walked sideways.
Can I get a book quest?
Yeah. Just let me finish my eat.
No, you're not allowed.
I get
tough. Any res going out? So we're pretty consistently getting near 50%. I think as soon as we get this transition clean with everybody alive, we should be getting sub 50, which is as good as we've ever done. So that's great. Like we are getting it. With the roly-polies, what caught me was I stood too close to one behind it, and then it happened to roll into the wall over me, 2 stacks. I died in like 3/4 of a second and swore a lot.
Don't
So-
like to hear you.
When we restack the second time, like so the first time we have the pools out in front of blue, on this side of the room where we're at, but we were kind of stacking deep on green, but we want to be stacked. The second time we want to be stacked just beside the old pools, right? We want to use the space as much while leaving the wall.
Especially for ranged, absolutely. Melee, just stand wherever they can hit the boss. But ranged, yeah, you tuck yourselves in near blue, near the old pools, just to make sure that the ads are kind of close-ish, and then burn.
Kind of want to
Again,
make a line of green that that leaves the wall the whole time, so we can always retreat to the.
He's still doing pretty good as an interrupt bitch, so
Yeah, we'll see.
we'll see. Hear that, Mikey? You got a challenge. Make sure you got health pots, guys. Like they're every single time the bosses come together or go apart, the raid gets blown up, and you want that emergency in case you just took a dot or something, just in case. Okay. All right, again.
He did 1K more than me. So.
And just try in the last 3 seconds, try and
5,
spread out. You don't want to
4,
have to move for the
3,
swirlies if
2,
at all possible.
1.
Keep nuking through it and only move at the end of the swirl. Just that extra couple of casts, right? It's all about max DPS here at the start during the 40 seconds of loss.
Give yourself to the ball.
Take your titty somewhere else.
Ravager's coming.
I'm gonna have trouble getting that Ravager.
As the void ends, you want to be on the Ravager.
Beware. Beware.
Roly poly. You're still up, guys.
Beware.
It is a bit of RNG based on which one is chosen. Keep on it.
Alright, darters are out, Ravager's dead.
Follow the darters.
Beware.
Watch out for the cone.
Stay on the darters, guys. Get them dead before
5,
transition. Here we
4,
go. 3 seconds.
3, 2,
Salves up. Chris, go.
2, 1. Beware.
Spread. Darter's dead. Good. Make your way to green.
Beware.
Rollies. Be at green, guys, or near-ish. You want to be dropping these drones off. Fiddy, you watching?
Eruption. Oh, fuck.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Is that on target, Nick, or did I screw up? Nick, his ears up. His ears up. Okay, good. So,
Beware.
Darters are up. Follow it, Keith. Stay on the darters. The drones can be finished. Roberta, 7 seconds.
Beware.
5,
Beware.
4,
Salve up.
3, 2,
Ready.
1.
Beware.
Control, bring them back together. Watch out for rollies.
Whoa.
We didn't finish them quick enough. The rollies were up.
Beware.
Nullification is pointed in a weird spot because of the Ravager.
Beware.
That one's always weird.
Alright, we're down too many DPS. Let's flip it up. We deal the res, get it on someone who can res.
Beware.
Res is out on half.
Okay.
Lee, your mic's on.
Hey, Lee, your mic is open. There you go.
Beware.
I have a slow stone. Don't release. Just die fast. Jump off the edge or stand and reach it.
you still have lots of work to do, Ash.
You're just
Yeah.
you're just lucky that that many people fucking died.
Yeah.
Watch it. Just wait. Just fucking
Able to
wait.
stay alive long enough during my last wings so I can get ahead of you.
Oh
You
my
can get ahead of
god.
me? What?
During the
So I can
wipe
get ahead of
call,
Ash.
he winged.
See, Ash, you need to beat Mike, but then you need to beat me, so...
It's true. But actually,
So-
I just need to keep everybody in the raid alive. Is what I need to do.
Oh, so we don't get buffed.
Yes. But Peter, man, Peter, you were pumping in the beginning. That was
Hey,
good.
hey, Brian, can you target something? I put you on focus.
I'm targeting Ash.
Gotcha.
currently.
Okay. Yeah, we'll target whatever you're targeting.
And ideally, Brian's looking for the ad that is closest to, in terms of the rhythm, like that, the wave, especially like you want the one that's closest to wherever the wall and Keith and the tanks are, if at all possible, first. And get that interrupt so it doesn't move. If you interrupt it, it just kind of stands there. And that way, it doesn't move, get a stun on it, everybody has a chance to catch up to you, get your target, it dies, then they fall.
Yeah, I mean, I only have an AoE stun, and I'm waiting to, like, if I can get 2 darters in it at the same time is kind of what I
Yep.
save my stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've got a range stun, and I'm trying to pop it on the one that's closest just as soon as I see it, just to give you guys 2 seconds to get there. That's you kind of do. So the wording on
for how can you instantly target what your focus is targeting?
F, I think.
So
F.
you could make a macro that says target the person in question or target your focus, and then after
Yeah.
that, assist.
There is a keybind for assist, I'm pretty sure.
No, when it goes to the purple on the ground, you take 162 before it erupts into a tentacle.
like if I stood on top of Renzo, say Renzo would take 160 from mine. It's not just the tentacle thing. It's also as the thing turns into a tentacle, there's a big splash. That's why we have to spread, unfortunately.
So, okay, so, I mean, you can create a macro that whatever I'm targeting, you attack. But if you target me F will target my target. So by default, if you haven't rebound F, F should target whatever your target's targeting, and so that whatever your target's targeting, well, it'll change to that target. If you haven't rebound F.
Okay. Yeah, we had a couple early deaths. You know what killed you. Don't do it again. Fix that. Other than that, it's just we are keeping people alive. If everybody's alive to the second transition and they're sub 50, we've succeeded. And then you're back in the rhythm. You do it all. It's true, but if you do get hit, you get hit, and then you just have to fix it. Yeah, so long as the darters die, we're clean. Just make sure the darters die. That means switch off the little dudes if need be, because the little dudes will come back and stand on top of us, and then we'll just kill them. But the darters run around like...
And it's important not to split on the darters, because they heal.
Yes, yeah. If you just start like attacking one, it's fine, but it's going to heal back the damage you're doing to it. You got to focus it, stun it. All right, again, with feeling, love, passion, rhythm, rhyme, butts.
5, 4, 3,
rhythm for the ride.
1.
Beware.
Give yourself to the void.
Fuck did do?
Ravager's up. Should be on it. Void's coming. Get yourself spread.
Beware.
Spread out those circles. Don't stand on your friends. Rollies, 3 seconds. Ravager dead.
Just about 5%. We're good.
Rollies, okay. Don't be in them. Don't be. Flyers, go.
Flyers.
Beware.
Watch out, there's cone. I thought I'd be able to turn him around in time.
Follow
5,
Brian.
4,
Salve's going
3,
up.
2,
Here he's done.
1.
Beware.
This is the damage. If you got a small personal, pop it now.
1. Beware.
Spread. Ignore that.
If
Go
the
to
darters
green.
are dead, you
Shit
take
with
Keith.
you. Bring it to Keith. Bring it to Keith.
Beware.
Come on in, guys. Roly polies are coming. Okay, 10.
Beware.
An 8 pop shout.
4, 3.
Darkness is down near Tekris.
Watch personal. Spread it out. Okay, darkness unfortunately won't work because of the explosion being poorly timed was all. Alright, good job guys. Finish up the drones before the flyers.
Beware.
New flyers.
New flyers now. Follow Brian. They're near Nick, so do some cleave off that. Good job guys. Clean it all out. 10 seconds to clean the room.
The room's clean. Get Tekris down. He's a little high.
No, there's 2 darters still.
Oh, still.
Roberta. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Salve up.
1.
Roly poly's coming.
Beware.
Brian, ready? Pop it.
Alright, bring them together. Do we want to stay on this acid pile or do we want to move?
No, move.
Right.
Rotate counter, bring them together.
Beware.
Everybody,
This corner.
after the void, bring it in. After the void, bring it in.
1.
Just that next
Beware.
corner.
Ravager's up. Second pot.
Ravager. Please let me taunt.
that a late pickup on the Ravager?
Correct. He was on the other side of the room.
Beware.
Pick Wicked up.
Yeah, get him up. Let's see what happens.
I moved to the corner, the next corner, and
Beware.
Rollies. Flyers are up. Ravager's dead. Go, Brian, go.
follow Brian if possible.
4, 3.
Nah, we're done. People are getting hit by the rollies. Remember, guys, when you get hit by it, it's 50% increased damage taken for the duration of the debuff. That's why you're melting. We don't have a res. Do we have a failure? Let's see if anybody gets caught by it before we release.
Just a hair's breadth away, I'm guessing.
Run. Okay, 44, guys. That's our first sub 50 pull. And that was very clean through the first transition and the second wave. And I think we kept almost everybody or everybody alive through the explosion. Brian, I would say darkness is probably better for an intermission, like with the 12 seconds, because of forcing us apart with the purple. It's just you threw it down and then we all had to spread and nobody got the advantage, which is...
That makes sense.
Which is sad.
Probably good with the Ravager.
Yeah. I mean, if it causes a miss, then the Ravager, if I go stand in the tanks, that can be good.
Yeah, if you put it on the tanks for Ravager, we'll love you.
I'll do that.
Just as a failsafe.
Yep. There's not a lot of time. There's occasionally moments where a Resto Shaman can actually drop a Spirit Link, but a lot of this fight is just like spread, come together, spread, come together. The only thing I would say is that as we were dealing with our purple, after the intermission, when we needed to get to green, people were spread from blue to our starting spot and all the way over here, and very few people were near green. So I'm almost thinking, Nick, it might be better to kind of use you as a broom. So when you two split up, you move off the wall, and you two split up, come to the entryway where we started. And basically that will make people go, huh, I should move away from Nick, and maybe they'll move to the right spot. It's like psychology, right? Like we're reverse psychologying the entire.
Come on, tanks, clean it up.
No, I'm asking tanks to clean your shit up.
I'm still gonna stand in the middle of wherever and not.
That's fine. You haven't been dying to being hit by roly-polies. Other people
I
have.
did get hit once. I am a terrible person.
But
you were able to cover it with your own shadow dispersion, etc., etc.
No, I've had her focused this whole time.
Healed her with cold fist on the mouse. Ugh.
I promised Ash I'd focus her and heal her today because she was nice and stayed around in this. So.
Is that like the old paladin where you could have the splash heal on a designated target that was usually the off tank? It's just your designated target. Beacon, yeah, Beacon Ash.
I thought Beacon was still around.
So Eel, what is your question? Sorry, do you mean like a DK grip or what's grasp? Just want to clarify if there's anything we missed. Oh, so Gorfine's grasp or the single target version. I'm not sure. Nick, did you?
If he's talking about when I pulled the 3 darters onto Kazir, yeah.
Okay.
Which is also another great reason why. Well, I guess if I tanked Kazir, whatever.
And,
but having Nick out there
do you
is
have
very
Gorfine's,
important.
Nick?
Yes.
I'm wondering.
It?
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm tired. Okay.
Maybe
I'm wondering if we should use it on the first wave, just to get it if we get them all stacked up really tight, and then half drops his stunning totem, they melt, and maybe that would just give us a bit of extra time to make sure that lust phase is. I don't know if it's worth saving it for when you have the darters or not.
How big's the cooldown?
It's. Do you mean for the little ads?
Yeah,
to use
exactly.
it on the little ads when they first spawn?
Yeah, I mean, it's a 4-minute fight, right? So, like, if you used it every time the two of you are stacked together and there's little ads spawned, as a get them stacked up, stun, blow them up, because they run around a lot. Like they're just standing in stupid spots. But if you like,
The point to do that would be right after the drop, the void.
Yeah, you could do that, or you could do it just before and half drop just totem as people spread, so they don't go anywhere. I don't know. I'm just sort of spitballing ideas to clean it up. Like anything we can do to smooth it out so it's reliable, because we've got to learn the last 40% now.
So on the first wave there, I've been throwing out Vortex before the purple comes out, so it pulls them back in once.
I've been loving that.
Okay, let's do it again. Nothing else needs to change aside from, in general, guys, as ranged, I'm guilty of it too. When we start moving out after the first wave and we kind of spread, we go this way and we end up over here. And that's not great after the intermission to then have to run all the way to green, because that's where our next stack is. So just kind of try to fight the urge to go too far this way, just to save yourself a few steps so you're back in position on green. So we blow that setup, dodge the roly-polies, and then we deal with darters and we're back to the hard mode again. Doing good, making progress. Let's keep it up. Oh yeah, okay. That's totally fair to use Gorfiends every time the darters are up, so that everybody can actually hit them and keep them in one spot. Makes sense because there are no. So yeah, Nick, just with your judgment, do that. Let's see how much that helps.
Not that.
So I think he's been gripping.
I know. I'm just saying. We just talked about other things. Don't just keep on. Drones are up. Ravagers up.
Beware.
All the way out there.
2.
Void's coming.
Beware.
Spread them. Rollies. Soon. Be ready. Guys. Stood on top of each other?
Beware.
Come on.
Beware.
Rollies, use the wall. Darters. Blue squares out there. 1 second, I got a blast.
Beware.
Okay, should be on the darters, following Brian. Are you on the darter?
5, 4, 3, 2.
There's a stun for you. Going up.
Beware.
Good. Nice keep.
3, 2, 1. Beware.
Defensives.
Keep going to green.
New rollies.
This is the easy mode, guys.
Watch out for cone.
Explosion in 4.
Pop it, Peter.
3, 2, 1. Beware.
Nice. That's very healable with both of those up. Just gotta live. Okay, you should be on the drones, trying to keep them all stacked up as much as possible.
New darters.
Moments like this, if you can get them to get. Darters are up now. Follow Brian.
Nice, Nick. They're grouped up. Kill them. Murder them. Stun them if you can.
Yeah, war stomps.
Beware.
Shaman totems. Just keep them there.
Beware.
Okay, Roberta, go.
Alright. That bring the bosses together.
Personals and health stones. We only had 1 cooldown for that.
Is this okay in the middle?
Yeah, it's fine.
We didn't talk about a third spot.
We have room.
3,
We're good.
2, 1.
There's a Ravager somewhere. Okay, he's on me.
Did I screw that one up, Nick?
I got it.
Beware.
Can we move?
As soon as the Ravager dies and we're all spawning for the Acidic Akir, rotate counterclockwise past the end of the
Ravager's at 50%.
Rollies.
Rollies.
Put darkness down for the tanks.
Beware.
Fuck me.
Alright, wipe it up.
Come on, Nick, we can do this.
Do we have a red?
Dream team. It's only purgatory.
I'm alive!
There's a soul stone. Do not release. Okay, not quite as good as last time we had those deaths there where people messed up.
Oh, fuck me, I released.
Yeah, unless the darters are stacked, the focus darter needs to be your target.
Friend of the Grumbles. Like you.
And yeah, once I just got trapped in a shitty spot. I was at the edge and it spawned right next to me and then went to the edge. So I was dead in a quarter second.
That happened to me a couple pulls ago. That's basically my rule now is I need to be 10 yards away from a darter, or sorry, a roly-poly, even if I'm on the edge, or I need to move out into the room if it spawns right next to me, just because it'll go sideways. And
if they choose you and you're on the side, they...
Yeah. No, I was running away from one. I didn't realize I ran behind another. It was...
Does turtle not work to mitigate the damage?
It's a dot?
Yeah, turtle doesn't work on dots. It'll stop me from taking the initial hit of it, but it won't save me from the dot bit.
And it's like, it's a mortal strike and a damage intake increase, so... The boss farts near you, you're gone.
Yeah, I'm not making that mistake again. I'm not standing near anything that way.
Turtle does work on dots. It's just a straight damage reduction to it.
Yeah, but I think
Doesn't
the
make
dots-
you immune to it.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
it
the
just
dot's
doesn't deflect.
longer than the turtle.
Yeah, turtle's only.
But usually by the time, if you pop turtle during that, like I have hit a darter, pop turtle, and by the time my turtle wears off and the 30% damage reduction wears off, usually the healers have caught up enough that you'll stay.
Fair.
So save it for afterwards. Do we want to do more flasks?
Yep, second wave flask. We are making real progress. As you learn your rhythm and your feet, then your DPS increases. And there are people who are still a bit low, and I'm expecting that, there's enough things to hit that everybody should be able to do 70, 75k, provided you can stay alive. And that's part of what's happening is on every pull, 2 or 3 people died of stupid shit, and then their DPS is nothing. So you got to learn the rhythm and get your feet and know where you're going at all times. Then you focus on DPSing the appropriate things. And if you get caught out of position, like you screw up and you're nowhere near the darters, it happens. Don't run all the way across the room to get there. DPS what you can and slowly move in that direction. Maybe you can help with the third one as it dies.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
And we'll just continue around the room and just find those little corners. So,
well, I think actually with the third one, let's do a big reset, Keith, because it's really only 4 positions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead. If anyone needs the bathroom, now's the time. So we'll go blue, green, moon. So essentially you're running to Nick on that one. Like, you're kind of at green and Nick's out in the room. And then you and Nick meet up at moon.
Yeah.
And then the final position will be our old... our old starting spot.
Yeah, and so if you look where orange is, a lot of times the roly-polies will spawn in front of orange. So if you stand in that back half, you'll be safe during roly-poly zones.
Orange is a good spot for healers to plant their feet. Yeah. For a couple healers to heal the tanks and stuff on the moon phase. DPS can't be there though because it's too far from the action. Like there's too much stuff that ends up in the middle of the room. They need to go.
But fair warning on these wall-less borders, the spawns, like, you might be able to step a foot behind it, but I think I've seen that sometimes.
No, you can't.
So.
You can't. It's a good deal.
Even with the wall over here, you can't step behind them because sometimes they just roll back at you.
Yeah, it's awful. That's what caught me last set.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You even when you stand behind them, you gotta be standing off to the side of them because they might roll back.
I'll be right back. Crying baby.
No, I hear it too.
Of the two bosses, which should I be focusing? Tetris?
It's yeah. So it starts with Kaz, and then Kaz will get real low, but he'll have to jump to the middle, and but eventually we'll call for everyone to get back on Keith's target. So you'll go back to Tekris, the tall one, when we're back to green. So like it'll dynamically switch between the two because they have to be killed kind of evenly.
They have to die at the same time, so as it's getting later, the one that has more health. And cleave your butt off.
And yeah, anytime you see an ad nearby to help you cleave, go for it.
Was there a timer?
Wes just ran off because of baby. We'll give him like a few minutes. Bless you.
Looks like EA announced a new Star Wars game.
The flight one?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. Better be like $30.
It's a squad
Of course it won't.
based like PvP game.
Yeah, but it's. I thought it was Rebel Squadron. But I was like, oh shit, I'm so excited. But then it's just a 5v5 skirmish game, and there's nothing else.
Isn't that already a mode in Battlefront?
That's exactly what they did. They took the mode in Battlefront and made it into a game. That's all they did.
With VR.
Whatever.
It's in VR.
It has a VR mode yet.
Could. If I want to do space VR, I will just play Elite Dangerous as much.
Okay. I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying, it's not just the Battlefront thing. They also added VR, which is kind of neat.
I will totally play a Star Wars VR space game. That's
Same.
all.
I just wish it was Rogue Squadron. But
Rogue Squadron's not
5v5
canon anymore, so we'll never see it again.
Yeah.
Canon is made by what Lucasfilm says, so they can just tell it to make it. So
but they won't because Disney.
Fuck that. That's still canon. The new one's not canon.
Technically, Rogue Squadron is canon because you can't have a Rogue One without Rogue Squadron.
look, what I'm mostly talking about is the gameplay. Like the story, they can do whatever. You guys should play Fallen Order. It's really
Fallen
good.
Order was great.
I love Fallen Order.
You know, it's better if you could play it and beat it on hard, though, Animal.
I tried for half the game to beat it on Jedi Master, which is not even the highest difficult.
No, it's one up from normal.
One below, and then eventually had to turn it back down to Jedi Knight.
My problem with that game and Jedi Master or any of the hard modes is it takes freaking forever to load when you die. So it just if you're in a hard spot, you're like, okay, well I'll go try it. I'll try this. Oh, I died. Oh great, now I gotta wait like 2 minutes for it to load back into the. It's stupid. Like the load times are.
I didn't have that load time problem at all. Granted, I died less than you because I didn't play it hard, but I played it on the computer. is fine.
Well, that's the thing. I don't have an SSD on my PS4, so I would just take forever to load.
Yeah.
Did you put
an
on PS4
SSD,
too,
sure.
Derek?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming if I had it on an SSD, it would load a lot quicker. But yeah, that was my main gripe. It's just load times were terrible.
The only thing that had a shitty load time was going into the save menu where you can pick your talents and shit. That thing always took a little while to load for some reason.
Yeah.
I was just playing it and I was like, oh, you know what? I want to play it on a hard mode because it's just challenging. It's fun. And then I would be like, I can't. Like, I would get bored of the game waiting for.
I made the mistake of going on Dathomir as my second planet.
Dathomir, the second planet, and I was like, oh my god, no. Like,
It's so hard.
My second planet, but I was like, nah, this is not where I'm supposed to be right now.
Annabelle, tab in.
Yeah.
Alright. We got 45 minutes, guys. Some more pulls. We're getting sub 50. We've got to keep everybody alive till that second transition, and then we're back where we started. Second pots, same idea. Ravager dies. It's a little harder. We don't have lust, but if we can get through that, if that second Ravager dies, the kill happens before the third one. That's the rhythm. So we just have to do that.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Give yourself to the boy.
Ravager's picked.
Beware.
4, 3, spread it for void.
2, 1. Beware.
Ooh. What is with Ravager aggro today?
Beware.
Rollies.
Oh, very possible. Ravager's dead. Dodge rollies. Darter soon. There, they're already out. Blue square.
Follow Brian.
Oh, blast real quick.
Beware.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Salves up.
1.
Beware. 4, 3, 2,
One set darter's dead. Green is ready for you guys.
Dot's done. Top the raid. Rollies.
Tech rest.
Soon.
Stack your ads.
Bring it in, guys. Bring it in. Roly poly soon.
Beware.
Eruption. Shout.
Beware. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beware.
The drones on the other side again before they
Drones
die.
are starting up again.
Beware.
Stack them up.
Darters are
Bring it
here.
in.
Everyone just work on darters.
We're going to be slowly migrating toward Moon. That is our new home in 7 seconds.
Beware.
5, 4,
Roberta, go.
3, 2, 1.
Rollies.
Beware.
There's a darter
You got
here.
hit. It's going to hurt. Pop a person. That 50% is going to kill you.
Beware.
Ravager's up. We should all be in.
1. Beware.
Fuck. Just range can do it. Second pots if you can on this Ravager.
What the fuck was
Cast got
that?
off. The cast got off.
Oh, the darter.
Oh, because
darter being
Mike's interrupting? Yeah.
The darter being up that long, just he does so much damage.
Well, the darter was running around. So, I mean, I saw it move and move and move, and it didn't make it to the stack. It didn't make it to the DPS. They've got to be together. We can't be doing 1, 2, 3. There isn't enough time. There's Soulstone, don't release. And ideally, I think on that darters, like, yeah, like you should all be moving to near Nick and bringing them in, and they've got to get dealt with as fast as possible.
Can range pre-move to be near green? Like as we start to disambiguate away from blue and we have that small moment, the hive mind switch, I'm on green, can range mostly be over there?
Ideally. I mean, there's a lot of people still standing in the middle of the room, which means a lot of little ads
We'll just
standing
go
in the
find
middle.
them.
Yeah, and it makes it slower. Like, this is why you can't spread, guys. It sucks. You gotta stay stacked where everything else is happening, which means you gotta avoid everybody else's shit, but it also keeps the ads from being stupid. You can't be too far away. And anybody who gets hit by a roly-poly, it's pretty much gonna kill you. Like, if you get hit by a roly-poly before the explosion, you're dead. If you get hit by a roly-poly before the intermission, you're dead. Because it's 50% extra damage for the duration of the dot. And it's already effectively a one-shot built in. 50% just means it's, really. So, roly-polies, you can never get hit, period. Just can't. Still, again, we're getting pretty near 50, but we're losing a lot of people to sort of silly deaths. That has to get cleaned up. It's very, very rhythmic, guys. Aside from the randomness of the roly-polies, it's start here, move toward the middle, end up near green. You can be on the far side of green if you want. Move toward moon. That's the rhythm. If you ever end up kind of over here, I don't know what you're doing, but it's the wrong spot. You only end up there in the last 20%. Try and stay kind of tucked in near the raid.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Plus.
Give yourself to the void.
Speak to Ravager, it's far out.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Here comes the Echoing Void.
Beware.
Rollies, heads up, Rollies.
Ravager's dead.
Good job, good job. Flying dudes soon.
Flying dudes.
Go. Thanks to.
Alright, I have a blast soon, please watch out.
Beware.
Bring that last one in.
I'll just point bitch.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware. 4.
Here comes the
Green.
control, mine's up.
Range, start positioning for drones.
Yeah, go green right after the void, guys. As soon as the void goes off.
Yeah, you have to move out of that thingy anyway.
Yeah, bring it in. Stack up the thing. We are clean. Good job. Blow the drones up. AoE stun.
There's a mushroom for you to stand in if you need.
Rollies, get off them.
Shout.
Beware. 4, 3,
Explosion. 2, 1.
1. Beware.
Bring it back together on the far side of green. Moving toward orange, and then moon. Garters, go. Keith, stay. Yeah, Keith is dragging. Yeah. No, you're good, Keith. I just meant don't follow. Try and bring things to Nick. Try and bring it into Nick.
Just one more little
Symbols
baby drone.
Yep.
It's just healing.
Just finish the darters. That's the priority.
4, 3, 2.
Roberta, go.
Rollies.
Brian, go.
Boss to moon.
Bring it to moon.
Give yourself to the void.
Alright, he's gonna cone through the raid.
Ravager, second pot. Switch to Ravager. Everything you got left, guys. Burn that
Do you have
Ravager.
maximum mic or no?
Yes, I do.
Bring it back for the drone cleave. Flyers in 5. Get that Ravager dead. Go, 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 go. Good job, good job. Tanks, go with them. Stack those flyers up. Rollies, dodge.
Ravager is still up and healing.
What?
Ravager is not dead.
Fuck. It was at like 2%.
It heals once it gets low.
Alright, wipe it. Fuck. It was at 2%, so I switched off because, I mean, I'm not doing DPS.
Yeah, unfortunately...
DPS, you gotta keep it targeted until you lose target due to its death, please.
Which is weird. I thought they only heal when they're low, when it's Khazir. Is Mythic, once he turns that on, it's just on forever?
Yes.
When
they hit 20%, they just heal.
Forever. Okay.
Yes, all the drones need to die. I think we didn't have very much transition there, like 1. And that was fine. Like, we were on top of it until that Ravager did not die. So, just lesson learned, DPS. You stay on it for that one last cast, even if it gets interrupted by its death. We can't risk it. It's gotta die. Because we had that. That was 42%, and if that hadn't happened, we could have done sub 20. It was that we were entering the...
Yeah, and there was just one drone just waddling around.
Easy phase?
The easy phase is after the Ravager. From the time the Ravager dies until the next time you get a Ravager is the easy phase of the fight. Because there's an explosion you get to ignore, there's drones that are easy to kill. Yeah, as Yield said, I don't know why there was a drone alive from the second set, because like that's the easy phase. You go till the darters, and there's like no reason they can't die. If your DPS is consistently low, guys, consider respecking your necks into the AoE or like the the tunnel beam thing. Just get some extra DPS by helping on the big explosions there, like the Azurite beams. Like just think about ways that you can help when everything's stacked up, and focus on that if your DPS is low. Just because that's something everybody should be able to do. I'll drop a book if anybody wants to respec. Like, ideally, yeah, you want to be 75,000 DPS or higher, and we have quite a few people who are topping 100, but they can't carry too many, so we got to push that DPS up.
Yeah, actually.
Oh, that... Interesting, okay. I mean... Yeah, so they got low, it ticked the healing, it healed up to full, and then it got picked, and it was the Ravager, and it already had the healing applied. That actually makes a lot of sense. That's what Yield's saying, guys. Is that because we left a little dude up, it got healing because it had gotten low, and then it had that healing for like a minute, and then it got chosen as a Ravager, which was a healing Ravager.
Oh.
Which, that's why it was stupid. So, lesson learned, especially, I'm just going to say hunters, because I think I can, you guys have good range. As we're transitioning and the flyers are dying, scan the room. And your job is to finish off the last wave if anything's left before you start helping with the new wave, just in case there's 1 or 2.
So,
Okay.
And there's a visual cue. Whatever you're focusing on grows big and starts to emit green goop off of its body as a particle effect. Just now you know you can't leave it off. You have to kill it till dead.
Anyway, that was much better. That was cleaner. It was 42. That's what we got to do. I don't know what's going to happen when we hit the next intermission past there, because we're basically out of cooldowns, but we're just going to wing it and see what happens.
Are you serious, Mike?
No, I'm fucking around.
How are you going to see the AoE on the ground?
Here we go again.
I can't even see the roly-polies, I just sense them.
It's fine.
5.
On heroic I can, but...
3.
We're making
2,
very real progress.
1.
Let's keep this up.
Beware.
Lust.
Give yourself to the boy.
Ravager's been picked.
Beware.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Spread it. Ravager focus. Keep going. Roll. Little dudes are dying. Roll these in 5. Don't get hit, guys. It's 50% extra damage.
Right.
Couple of drones up. Ravager's dead, though. You can deal with them. Okay, get those ads before the flyer.
Right, follow blue square as necessary. blast. Please watch out.
Darters are all in one spot. Stun them. Burn them.
Another stun.
5,
Perfect.
4,
Good job,
Salve
guys.
is up. Salve is up.
2, 1.
Chris ready.
Beware. 4,
Spread them. Get to green. You got time. Void in 1. Spread out your shit as you go. You gotta move. Nor volatile. Bring it in. Stack them up. You got 5 seconds to get them all in here. Try and drop a totem if we have one to keep them from moving while we dodge rollies.
Shout.
Beware. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Void spread.
Beware.
Oh.
Beware.
Finish off those drones, guys.
Darters.
Bring the drones to the darters. Get them all dead. One more darter over there. Nick was not able to pull. Derek, it's coming. Good, it's here. They're all stacked up. Burn them. You got 10 seconds. Rollies in 4. Keep burning. Roberta, get ready. 3, 2.
3, 2,
Brian, ready.
1.
Bosses to moon.
Beware.
Dodge rollies while you're over here.
Dot's gone. Get the raid top.
Beware.
Battle res. Spread the void.
Ravager.
New Ravager. Oh, come here, you bitch.
Second pot. Burn that Ravager. Burn that Ravager. Oh, Annabelle.
Oh, the Ravager.
Beware.
Yeah, he did RP while my taunt finished.
It's okay. Stay on him. Stay on him. He's almost dead. Roly-poly in 3.
He is dead.
2, 1. Get the drones while you're dodging rollies before the flyers show up.
We're up.
Okay, follow Brian. Bring your little dudes with you if you can. They follow you. Take them to the clump.
Alright, where is Brian?
That symbol.
Way over there.
4, 3, 2.
Roberta. No, we'd have nothing. Anything we got. Pop your personals right now. Ready with a health stone. Any healer cooldown we have, burn it now.
There's Darter flying around back here.
Yeah, we just ran out of bodies. We lost too many people to earlier stuff. I think
Now
most
you're just
people died.
handling ads.
Yeah, we're just down too many bodies. We lost 2 people early. We popped 1 battle res, and we lost Animal to threat. And then it just started. Then it snowballs, right? It snowballs.
That was my fault. I didn't wait like 4 seconds before taunting, which is typically what I do.
We do have a res. Do not release.
Beware. 4.
Is there another part or phase to this, or this is just it?
No, this is it. Yeah, you got through that, Dana. Like we're sub 40. You just gotta stay alive and keep DPSing before the 3rd Ravager spawns.
Yeah. Every time they do a switch, it gets harder. It's a softened rage, but yeah, that's the whole fight. It just continues that.
Yeah, that's very true. Actually,
Oh,
after
yeah.
you took the first attack from the Ravager animal, you then ate somebody's purple, and then we're unhealable.
Yeah, he did.
Well,
What was a purple leader?
I got so excited, I taunted early.
But yeah, DPS was on point there. People were doing their shit. It's just every death costs us, guys. We fall a little bit more and more behind, right? So that was 38, and the Ravager was dead, but it was too late. Like if that Ravager had died clean, you push the DPS there, you get him below 25, and then we've got an explosion phase ad, and you just you surge, you just push, and it's all boss DPS as much as you can. And if you get sub 6, you just burn the boss and ignore the ads, and you pray the healers have enough to keep us alive. So anyway, that's the fight. We do have it, just a little bit more DPS and a little bit less dying. And people are still getting hit by the roly-polies, and every time that happens, guys, it's a 50-50 if you're going to survive. Like, it seems like it's not so bad because you're like, whatever, it's an explosion. It's the 50% extra damage taken. That's what really wrecks you, is for the duration of that dot, and it's a long dot, everything hits harder. So, like, getting hit is like a really long, well, fuck. So, just do your best to not get caught, okay? Make sure you have second pots. If you don't, the bank is there. Somebody drop a bank, get some second pots. That second Ravager should be second pot land for anybody who can increase their single target DPS by. If you can't, if it doesn't really help your single target, pop it on a wave, like where it will help. And like I said before, if you want the Azurite beam for your neck or something like that, like if you feel like you're not able to help as much, anything you can do on the big AoE cleave areas just helps smooth out the fight. Everybody can help there, except healers, because Blizzard hates. We should all be able to wear the Azurite beam.
Hey.
Or like just
the formless and wait thing. Copy it.
All necks matter.
Yes. Not with.
I know.
No.
Just saying you couldn't.
Beware.
Ravagers coming in.
Spread those voids. Spread those voids.
Beware.
Rollies.
Beware.
Ravager's dead.
Flyers are up. Follow Brian.
Follow the blue square.
Come on, Ren. Dodge.
Right, turning him.
Beware.
Stunning that other one.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Salves up.
1.
Start moving towards green as you need.
Echoing Void in 2. Drop it off on your way, and then move your way in.
Bring your ads to green.
If you can, yeah, bring it in, bring it in. As soon as there's enough of them, drop a stun. Keep them here. Nice. Burn them. Rollies.
10 seconds until burst. 3, 2, 1.
2, 1. Beware. Beware.
New darters are up.
Yeah, follow Brian.
Follow blue square if you can.
We're slowly migrating toward moon.
We missed the drone.
It's fine. We'll get to it as soon as the darters are dead. Just stay on
No,
the
man,
ad.
that's saying that's what killed me.
4, 3, 2,
It blew
1.
up.
What?
Beware.
That's the one that's blow up.
That's the one that does blow up. You ate a roly-poly, so you had a 50% increased damage and it one-shot you.
Bring the boss to moon, yeah.
All 3 people who died there ate roly-polies, and therefore the explosion hit you for 550,000 instead of 3.
2, 1. Beware.
Alright, just wait it. There's nothing more we can do with this. No res. So that's what it comes down to, guys. This is really roly-polies. Like, if the roly-polies line up with big damage half the time, and you just can't get caught, because if you do, the dot is long enough, you won't be able to avoid it, and it'll hit you for, if not death, enough that any ground effect will.
Is it possible to delay that particular set of darters to just stay on a wall and deal with roly-polies as best as possible, and then dive the darters as we go in towards the gather bosses?
We do that, we're 5 to 10 seconds behind, and then there is no time to do that. You have to be on the ads and dodge simultaneously. That's the fight. Which is why we're struggling with it more than we've struggled with most of our other fights in here, because we as a guild are not terribly good at avoiding effects. People get caught by stuff a lot. We're old and slow reflexes. But just basically, you get hit by a roly-poly, and if that means you lose a couple of seconds of DPS, that is what it is. It's better that you survive. Really, you can't afford to.
You might just have to spam a button and kind of waste some resources, but that's okay. Just
if you get hit, the next effect kills you.
Many deals for a friend of the Grummles, like you.
So we have definitely made real progress tonight, and if we can keep it alive and clean through this, we can definitely get into the 4th phase, and that's where we see if we've had enough DPS. Because if we get to the 5th, it's a wipe. You cannot sustain it. You've got to kill it before the.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Beware.